Do you know there are 3 critical pillars for your retirement in the United States today? And they may be crumbling into a pile of dust just like a swarm of termites devouring the inside of your house without you even knowing what's going on. Well, we'll discuss that and more on this episode of The Real Money Doctor Show. My passion in life is to help as many people as possible get, protect, and enjoy their money, life, and retirement. Do you know that there are 3 critical pillars for your retirement in the United States today? And that they may be crumbling into a pile of dust, just like a swarm of termites devouring the insides of your house without you even knowing what's going on. It all started decades ago, before you were even born in 1935, when President Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act into law. It became the first pillar for people's retirement. It had a slow and rocky start, but by the 1950s, people really started relying on it as a supplement to their defined benefit pension plan from work. You may not know it, but when the United States had a major manufacturing economy, the labor unions were strong and people stayed with the same company for 20 plus years. Companies had pension plans that would guarantee a portion of your salary for life. You stayed with the company for life, they would take care of you for your life. It was called a defined benefit pension. That pension, along with your Social Security check, meant that most retirees would at least live a comfortable life. This was the second pillar for retirement, the company pension. In the late 60s and start of the 70s, the economy shifted. Manufacturing was moving overseas for lower labor costs. The unions were losing members, and the companies were looking to cut costs. That defined benefit pension that people were relying on started to disappear. Companies started shifting the risk of providing retirement funds to the employees with defined contribution plans. That is, the company would put in a certain amount of money for your pension with no guarantee as to what would actually be there at the end when you're going to start taking it out. This was the start of the second pillar for your retirement starting to crumble. Meanwhile, in the background, the funds that were withheld from everyone's paycheck and matched by employers for Social Security were paid into a general fund that the Congress consistently stripped out or borrowed as they needed money for their corporate friends and unpaid corporate tax benefits and loopholes. That Social Security money that was borrowed had never really been replaced. The program has been under constant attack as the cause of the continuing budget deficit, totally ignoring the increasing tax giveaways to the top 1%. That was the first pillar of your retirement, and it's under attack and it's starting to crumble. Let's get back to the second pillar for your retirement, the company pension plan. Congress always knew they were stealing money from Social Security, but it wasn't enough though. The corporate lobbyists came in and wanted to get rid of the company pension plan altogether. So in 1978, the Congress put through the legislation which was signed into law creating the first 401k program. They were being nice to you, or were they? It allowed employees to defer a portion of their wages or earnings into a company-sponsored pseudo-pension plan where the money would grow tax-free until you took it out. This was a major goodie for the top 1%. And what looked to be, at least on the surface, an okay thing for the rest of us. Some companies even matched up to 3% of your contributions into the plan. That sounded wonderful. You got 100% return on 3% of your money. And then the companies started dropping their pension plans altogether and left employees totally on their own to fund their own retirement with the 401ks. More manufacturing jobs left, the cost of living kept rising, wages stagnated. People no longer had the financial ability to stay with one employer for life and started changing jobs on their own because of companies either moving or just shutting down completely. If there was a 401k available, people couldn't afford to put very much money into it at all. This is the total collapse of the second pillar of people's retirement, the company pension plan. Totally destroyed at this point. But I did say there were 3 pillars. What's the third one? Yes, retirement in the U.S. is based on 3 pillars. The first, Social Security, was only intended to supplement the second, the company pension plan. The third was supposed to supplement the first 2. The third pillar to retirement is your personal savings. The top 20% have received 80% of the gains in the economy, as wages for the bottom 80% have remained close to their 1970 levels. It's no surprise here that if people can't put enough money into their 401k or IRAs, that they're not going to have much in personal savings either. This is evidenced in a recent study by the fact that 1 in 3 Americans have zero saved for retirement. The Federal Reserve Bank, in a study they did, revealed that the median value of retirement accounts for the families that actually had accounts was $103,200 for the age group 55 to 64, and only $148,900 for seniors aged 65 to 74. The crumbling of these 3 pillars is having a devastating effect on retirees as they continue to work in their 70s just to barely survive. How are these people supposed to survive for another 10, 20, or 30 plus years? That's why, according to the AARP, most people age 40 and older fear running out of money more than they fear death. The fact is that a large number of growing seniors, like Roberta Gordon, that was recently mentioned in the Atlantic magazine, said that she never thought she'd still be alive at age 76. She definitely didn't think she'd still be working. But every Saturday, she goes down to the local grocery store and hands out samples, earning $50 a day because she needs the money. So now at age 76, She earns $915 a month through Social Security and SSI, or Supplemental Social Security Income, a program for low-income seniors. Her rent is $1,040 a month. She's been taking on credit card debt to cover the gap and to pay for utilities, food, and other essentials. She often goes to a church food bank just in order to get by. This is not an isolated story. It's played out every day in almost every city, town, and rural community across all 50 of the United States, because each day between 8,000 and 10,000 baby boomers reach the age of 65. According to Diane Oakley, the executive director of the National Institute on Retirement Security, this will be the first time that we have a lot of people who find themselves downwardly mobile as they grow older. They're going from near poor to poor. That's why, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, 25 million seniors are living at or below 250% of the federal poverty level. The sad truth is, if you're already 70 plus, there's not really much at all you can really do but try to continue to survive. The good news in all this is that if you're a pre-retiree or recently retired, you don't need to end up like this. Let's look at today's reality, and there's 3 pillars. The first, Social Security. You can't control whatever happens to Social Security, the amount of money it will end up paying you, or even if it remains in existence. The second, the company pension plan and or your 401k. You have a limited amount what you can do with this other than divert money from your daily living expenses and try to keep growing the money in your 401k and hope that it will grow and not get substantially wiped out with the next market crash. The third pillar, your personal savings. This is something you have total control over. If you know how to do it, you can strengthen and grow this one pillar to actually completely replace the other 2. You do this by increasing your money knowledge. There are only 3 factors that affect your money and its growth. 1. How much money you have to start with or can consistently make periodic investments of. 2. How long of a period will you have or can you let it grow? And 3. The rate of return that the money is actually making for you. The first 2 are generally fixed by outside factors. We all only make a limited amount of money on a monthly basis, and a large portion of that goes to actual living expenses. So you have a limited amount of money that you can actually save and invest in yourself and for your future. The time frame is different for each of us personally, but it too remains fixed. We may be starting all at different places right now. However, we all get to age 60 when we're 60 years old. That's fixed. The third factor, rate of return, is a direct result of our knowledge about money, the types and availability of various investments and business opportunities, and our personal belief in our ability to make them work for us. The people with more knowledge about money, how it works, how to get it working for them, end up with a better rate of return and their worry-free ultimate secure retirement. The people with less money knowledge end up working well into their 70s in hopes of just surviving another week of a generally embarrassing and extremely uncomfortable existence. It shouldn't be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. This third factor is completely under our control. Today, learn how money and time work together with ROI, or return on investments. Today, make a commitment to yourself and your family to do whatever it takes to learn the insider secrets on how you can get all 3 of these things working for you. Only then will you be able to actually get and enjoy the worry-free ultimate secure retirement that you want and deserve. And remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the real money doctor, and I'm here to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, life, and retirement. Until we get together again, please take the time to enjoy your life. If you like this video and you want to know more about how I can help you create your ultimate secure retirement, just head on over to drfredrouse.com.